Good afternoon. Thanks for stopping by Morning Mug again, guys. We're having a green day here with MindMed. Pretty expected with the offering closing. A little bit lackluster, if you ask me, but we'll get into that. We've broke some resistances, so that was great. Good things to see for the stock there. Also, one of those tickers I called out for the Bitcoin run here. The Canadian one is having a great day, so we're going to have a look at that quickly as well. But let's jump on into the MindMed charts. So here we've got the 3-month 1-hour chart. You can see there's the original push-up. Got some channels here. This bottom support is roughly the 345 mark that it dipped down to yesterday. This resistance is 420 more or less, and this next one here is just around 490. We tested the 421 this morning. We broke above it a tiny bit. On the American side, it might look a little tighter within some of these trading ranges, but definitely still a good note. If we want to zoom closer in here, again, this is still the 3-month 1-hour chart. We're above both moving averages. This purple one here is our 180-day simple, and the blue one here is a 25-day exponential. So we bounced off the 25-day one pretty nicely there. That's great to see. That was yesterday though. So today we're staying well above that and underneath the 3-month VWAP. So that's a bit of a downside, but we are experiencing a bit of the pullback right now from the morning volume. Let's switch over to the 5-day 5-minute chart here. We can get a little more in depth on the actual action today. Right here, this green candlestick is the candlestick in the morning. As I mentioned, broke that 420 resistance that most people were watching for MindMed. Came back below it, and now we've tested even these 5-day simple moving averages or exponential moving averages. And again, still below that VWAP. Let's see if we can break above that VWAP in the afternoon here. We've got an interview with JR Rahn coming out on Departures Capital here. Not going to be siphoning any of his content, but I will try and take some of the keynotes of that and then direct you towards that video itself. So let's hope for some updates on the NASDAQ uplisting. Am I right? So the interview with JR is done. That is up on Departures Capital. Like I said, I really don't want to be stealing too much of Aaron's content there, so this is a link to that. It'll be in the description there as well. Please go over there and drop him a like for putting this interview out for us. 3 things I'd like to take from the video and just pass along to you guys though. The 18MC trials are moving along well and should have an update in the next quarter. That's really exciting. That's obviously going to tackle a really big market. Not to put opioid addiction in that sort of light and trivialize it and call it a market, but you guys know what I mean. The company's focus on leadership is only being highlighted even more in this interview. JR talks about how he's reiterated and has the documents to back that they have no intentions to go into the recreational market. And he also mentions that this is what allowed them to bring CIBC along into the bought deal financing that just closed. So that's really big. That's one of the Canadian 5 big banks invested into MindMed, so that's just more bulls in our corner, which is great. And the last thing is that JR did mention the NASDAQ uplisting. I'll let you guys go over there to get everything that he did mention. I'm not going to take any of that. I'll just mention that JR is working on it, and it does seem like a very real possibility, so nothing bad to report, that's for sure. But head on over there, get the full details, watch the whole interview. There's lots to take from it. JR reiterates some timelines and some hopes for some other things, as well as he's interested in your guys' opinion about a name for a project. That would be the LSD microdosing for ADHD. He wants he wants some suggestions from you guys, so leave a comment on Aaron's video there and see if you can get your suggestion picked. Just a little update on the price action here. We did break a bit of a support here. This was an intraday support, so nothing crazy, but definitely a bit of selling going on right now. There's definitely been a group of people that have held during this offering and have been waiting for a chance to get out, maybe you could say, that have bought a little higher up, closer to the $5.60, maybe even in the $6 range. So some of those people are definitely itching to get out if they're not as bullish on the company. Personally, I believe that this is a great pick long term, not even just in the short term. The short term should be really good with the uplisting and the potential there, but even long term, this is a great company. So any stock price that you can get in at, realistically, I think is a good long term deal. We're just really hoping on some action here in the next couple weeks. From what JR was saying, it does sound like it should be happening soon. He alluded to ringing the bell. I mean, that's pretty common when it comes to IPOing stocks, but maybe he's heard something and let a little something slip there. Let's not get too speculative here, but I'm going to keep my eye on MindMed for the rest of the day. I did lighten a bit of my position here because I did add a ton while it was under 4. I moved most of that into HUT as it's still running today. I'll just swing that up onto the screen. So here is HUT. This is a 5-day, 5-minute chart, currently still running. This is one of those Bitcoin miners. I did make this call out earlier this week. The video didn't get a ton of views, so I'm not surprised if you didn't see it, but that's not the point. I did add more to this position as I took some out of MindMed. From the morning here, we opened up around 410 all the way up to 543. That was by 1050, and we pulled back a tiny bit, hit this 25-day simple moving average, and now we're back up. So definitely an easy day trade for some of you guys out there. Hopefully you guys had this on your watch list. And yeah, the only other mover in the Bitcoin sector that beat this is Mara, which was actually the other stock that I called out for the American side of things. And so this is just a little update on that and to tell you where I moved a bit of my money from MindMed. So thanks again for stopping by. Remember, everything I mention here is just my own opinions, not financial advice or a trading advice. Just entertainment and education purposes only. So thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, drop a like for me. I'd really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you feel like I've earned it. I've hopefully been bringing some value to you guys in this week and hopefully in the further weeks to come as well. Thanks for coming and safe travels.